So, last week, Warcraft loses 3 million subscriptions. This week, Blizzard does the only logical thing and bans another 300,000.
Alright, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
Oh my god, he just ran in. Save him!
Oh geez, stick to the plane!
Oh Jesus, let's go. Stick to the pledge, Shove. Stick to the
Episode
plane.
13, Epic Fail. That was, of course, Leroy Jenkins, who, as of this past week, turned 10, that video. Makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Time's up. Let's do this.
Yeah. That's about all the intro I've got for this week. I don't have it in me to do a voice. Sorry. I've had a long week at work. Let's see. Work schedule is Saturday to Friday. Today was Friday. Well, now it's Saturday, but today was Friday for me. And I put in 77 hours.
Holy...
A little rough.
Yeah.
Wait, you work 6 days a week?
No. I only did 5.
And you got 70 hours. How's that work?
Double shifts.
Jesus.
On the good news, money.
That's why I did it. It's not very often they do overtime.
Yeah, take care of the...
Yeah,
what's going on there?
yeah. So at least now I can eat. Now it's just a question of, do I get the Happy Meal or...
Dollar menu.
Yes.
You know what? There's actually...
And she blanks.
This shows how much I go to McDonald's. Okay, I went with my neighbor to McDonald's. I don't go to McDonald's is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, there's 2 types of burgers
Good choice.
on the dollar menu that have the 2 different names, but they're the same thing, and one is cheaper than the other one. So check that. I don't remember what they're called.
I won't eat at McDonald's, don't worry. I will starve first.
I have eaten at McDonald's, but
I have before, but I'm not going to ever again. So, up here in the top right corner, we have Ladies First, Scarlet.
who? What? Oh, there's girls here? What? Girls don't play WoW.
We just put you on for eye candy. We know you don't play WoW.
Heart. Okay, that was lame. Hi.
What have you been up to this week?
I did not get my raid on because that group was booked, and so apparently I'm going with another group who may or may not be this weekend. I'm hoping it's this weekend because I have a 9-day work week coming up soon, so I won't be able to. Well, not next weekend. I could still do it next weekend. It's the weekend after that I be working 9 days in a row. So did not do raiding. I did do garrisoning. And I got the same gloves out of my garrison that I got for the last 3 times. On the good news, they're on the auction house for quite cheap. So people should go buy them on Airy Peak. They're mythic.
I actually threw up a pair of Mythic Warforged gloves to the auction house. I don't know if they sold yet. I haven't logged in since I got back from work.
Were they plate?
Yeah.
I think they might have sold because I looked and they're... Well, no, I don't know because I only searched for the name of gloves that were so
Yeah.
they could still be there. I take that back. But anyways, of the pairs that I got, there was only regulars. So there's mythics on the auction house.
Yeah.
So lots of money making. And
I don't know anything about that.
liar. You're gold capped, aren't you?
I refuse to make any comments there. And there's no such thing as gold cap.
That's
Gold
true.
cap is a myth.
I did get someone at work. I tried to get them interested in Hearthstone.
Tried.
It didn't go over so well. They were like, yeah, I tried that game And then I got so angry that I kind of like threw their electronics. So, yeah, that was my week.
That's always fun.
That's
I heard we're gonna save it for later, but I heard you got something.
yeah, but I didn't do anything with it.
Don't spoil anything.
I was looking to see if there was a way to make it useful, but there wasn't. But anyways,
Okay.
we will get into that later.
Yep.
Mhm.
And up in the top left, we have Theory. What have you been up to this week?
Hey guys, had a pretty good week. Actually, most of you who know me know I'm a pretty big altaholic. And this week I had a kind of a come to RNGesus moment, which was that I want to try to focus on just one character. And I picked my rogue, because it is my Gang Theory namesake. Nice Pepsi. And right after I did so, I got a mythic cache that came in. And that cache actually had the one piece I needed upgraded on my druid. So now I'm sitting wondering if I made a mistake by switching, but I think I'm going to stay with it. Did some raiding. Busted Raid team is still having some issues filling roster. So there's another team from CTR who we are basically considering merging with. So that may happen this week, which is cool. So we raided some normals, but we had nearly 30 people. I think we had 29 in the group.
Wow,
Which was
nice.
kind of cool to have that many people in the group because it doesn't happen that much anymore. And we did really well. Got pretty far. We did not. I think we got maidens down. I don't think we did blast furnace, or I know we didn't do last boss, but we did that. Did not play any Hearthstone. 0.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Shocker.
You know what they need? They need to have Hearthstone on the Apple Watch. There you go. Figure out a way for that to work on that little small screen.
I'm sure if you go on Reddit, you could probably find it somewhere.
I doubt it. But
Not yet, anyway. Give it another week.
But I want to point something out. So earlier, you know, it is epic fail. You made what was supposed to be, I think, a heart,
Yes.
and instead yours looked like this. And what does that look like? Because that doesn't look like a heart.
It looks like binoculars.
Sure, binoculars. That's exactly what I was thinking.
There you go.
Better, much
Much
better.
better. And
Whatever.
I did notice a new sign behind you there, Theory.
Yes, I kind of switched my office around quite a bit. Noticed a little epic fail action up there. But that is a digital sign reader that I can make it say whatever I want. So be careful what you say to me, because there might be a different message up there from time to time, which will be quite fun.
You know,
But
it looks like
got rid of the lovely sheet. It is no longer. Or I should say curtain, but sheet.
we couldn't tell what it was. It just looked like you were like in a black room.
It was in a cave.
Yes. But that has fireworks on it. That's cool.
It does. It is animated and colorful and eye-catching and all that kind of stuff. And completely useless for anything other than what it does.
Yep. As for me, garrisons 2, maybe 3 times a day every tune. I posted links to you guys earlier yesterday of my 2 big money makers, where I think between those 2 I had 3,000 gold.
A little more, actually.
Crazy.
It's like 2,400 on the one, and I think around 1,600 or 1,800 on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And that was the 2 big ones. The rest of them were all, 500-ish. So
I don't have any of the gold.
that wasn't with a Blingtron either. I didn't get a Blingtron. Fall.
What?
The Blingtron mission. It's guaranteed 500 gold if you win it, but
Yep.
with 3 treasure followers,
It
you
becomes
get a little
2,000.
more.
I don't have any treasure followers. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh yeah, I have an in. So
In is the way to go for some gold making.
Oh yeah.
Plus, you get is it the end on level 3? You get the extra treasure missions.
Mhm.
Is the end. So it's kind of a double whammy for making gold.
Oh yeah.
I should pull one back in.
As soon as I get the one achievement on my Death Knight, I will be dropping that Gnomish Gearworks building, I think is what it's called,
Mm-hmm.
and getting an inn.
Yep. Need that feather.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about the feather. I was thinking about the gold, but yeah, the feather would be
Don't
nice.
need feather.
Oh yeah. Well, my Death Knight's a tank, so it's not like I'm in any danger of dying when I'm in Tanan Jungle running around for 30 minutes trying to get that 10 feet.
True, you're not going to die. It's just going to take you 30 minutes to kill everything on the way there.
Yeah,
You're going to aggro everything
but that's more gold.
if you stop the loot. Meanwhile, I'll have already done that quest and moved on to the next one.
Yeah. It's also my Death Knight. Do you think I'm really worried about it?
Death
I'm
Knights
not
are
saying-
awesome. Thank you.
I'm calling my Death Knight an alt. That's it.
For 5 minutes.
And occasionally raiding for you.
Speaking of,
Yes.
can I segue something totally and derail the conversation for a second?
We are epic fail. It's expected at this point.
Okay, so the Arthas book, I've been reading the Day of the Dragon. There's parts in the book that match up with the Arthas thing, and it's kind of cool. Like,
Which Arthas thing? There are a few in game.
so no, in the Arthas book, when Arthas is a child, he goes to talk to his dad, and his dad pushes him aside and is like, "Not now, I'm busy," kind of thing. And then his sister is promised to marry some guy that she doesn't know. So in the Day of the Dragon, there's Lord Prester, and he got control of... There's a cat in the background.
Kitty.
In my messy room. So Lord Prester makes mind controls, or gets in the king's mind to make all that happen, and Lord Prester turns out to be the one who's engaged to be married to Arthas's sister, but Lord Prester turns out to be Deathwing. And then there's a conversation where where Lord Prester is in the castle, and Arthas runs in and tries to talk to his dad, and his dad is like, "Not now." So the two books match up, and it's cool. So anyways, that was my tangent.
Okay.
But I did not know Deathwing tried to marry Arthas's sister.
Apparently, even dragons who want to end the world. get
Well,
lonely.
he didn't want to actually marry her. He just wanted to get in the good graces of the king, so he could derail all the stuff.
Got shot down, which is why he wanted to kill everything. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
If Arthas's daddy would have just been like, "Okay, marry my daughter," then Cataclysm could have been avoided. That-
No, Lord Prester, or Deathwing, whatever, he arranged the whole thing to pretend like he was going to be king of the Alliance. And Airy Peak, actually, and stuff. Anyways, it was really interesting how the two matched up.
You know what all that means
That's
to me?
all I'm saying. What?
Putting all that together, all I hear is in West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Hey, he's actually here filming
Mm-hmm.
the
That movie.
and my coworker is going to meet him tomorrow.
Hey, have him get some autographs and so we can give them out for contest stuff.
She
Okay.
would.
Well, she's probably got better luck.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
So I just totally derailed it. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Anyway, now that we have the first derailing out of the way, I'm sure there will be many more to come, because
people should read the books. They're super interesting.
So let's backtrack for 1 sec. What's the name of this wonderful book that you've been reading that ties in with Arthas?
The Day of the Dragon.
And when
And
did this
it's-
book come out?
A long time ago. It's a
It's
Warcraft
an
book.
older one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Warcraft, not World of Warcraft.
Is it on Audible?
I have
Probably not.
no idea. It's
Okay.
by Richard Knapp or something.
And with that name, I'm not interested.
No, it's actually really it's really good. And I was trying to read one of his
Yeah.
other books, and I got really bored. But
I'm not saying anything about his writing ability. I am saying he has a tendency to take lore and change it, and they are officially, I've already said, most of his books do not count as lore because he changed stuff that didn't need changed.
Mm.
well, now you've just burst my bubble.
I'm good at that.
Throw the book away.
Yep, just throw it
No.
out. I don't know if that's one of them.
I
or not.
have like 10 pages left, and I don't know where I left the book, and it's somewhere
perfect.
around.
Okay.
Wow, you're living up to Epic Fail already. Anyway, getting back to the actual show, as with the intro, Blizzard decided to. It was a 6-month ban, about 300,000 accounts for botting and the like.
Why do some bots get permanent and some get 6 months?
Well, I think what this one was is they start with the 6-month just to see who's doing it.
Two different.
Oh,
Go ahead.
What you were saying, Draven, is of course usually right. If you've never had anything happen before, you usually get a lighter sentence for your first banning, unless it is something really egregious. Usually it's only a few days or a week. This would be considered really egregious. However, there was a couple of different bots that did get banned. A couple of them were auctioning bots in order to basically play the auction house where you didn't actually list each auction yourself. You would hit a button on a program and it would automatically go through and do everything for you. Now, there's add-ons like Auctioneer and things like that, which are okay because you literally have to hit the buttons to do everything. And say if you want to list 400 of something, you still have to hit the button to list 400 of something. These were actually programs that would basically do it on their own. And those folks got banned for one number of time. Then there was other folks who had bots that were running things like battlegrounds and things like that in order to grind honor and things like that. And they got banned for another group of time. So it wasn't just one bot. There was several
gotcha.
that were part of this ban. I think the really funny part about it is that they waited. They knew about these and decided, okay, what's the day? Today's the day. All right, cool. Everybody's banned. See you. Bye.
I know, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. Let's wait until the day or 2 days after we lose about 1/3 of our player base and then ban another, 1/3 of that.
I actually feel like there's a pretty good reason for that. If Blizzard wants to look like they care about the player base and that they are not simply being reactionary, the best way to prove that is to lose more money on purpose.
Yeah, I can see that.
So 300,000 is not nearly as big as $3 million a month. But if they can say the reason that they banned these people was to make the game better for the rest of the players, that makes them out to be the good guy and makes them out to not really care about money. And anybody who's not using a bot says, well, at least they care about the game. No, it's a matter of Blizzard not caring, and that's why everybody's quitting. So it's kind of a good PR stunt.
Well, I mean, the bannings are going to happen either way. It's kind of funny that it happened that close to the.
Well, yes and no. How long were they sitting on these?
Well, they, as I understand, I don't know all the details, obviously, because nobody except for them do.
Exactly.
They are looking for patterns and stuff, I would imagine.
Mhm.
And they want to get as much info as they can. And while some people, I know one person, TAI, who has never botted, he got banned and he put it in the PO and he's getting it back. But
Well, there's many different things that it picks up, and some extensive macroing looks like botting.
yeah,
I
I know there's some program, I think it's called Smooth Ping.
Yes. Things completely different.
Yeah, it's not an add-on, it's not a bot. All it does is try to find a more direct path to the servers, and people are getting hit with that.
Yep, that's a completely different thing. They may have lumped them into the same one. That is usually to mask logon locations for people who are hacking and for people who are, gold sellers. So the reason that they crack down on that an awful lot is it masks your IP address and forces you to go a different way than you normally would go. So then, say for example, me being in Florida, if all of a sudden I started logging in Seattle and then it switched to Houston and then it switched to Chicago, that's going to look like some shady business is going on. Either one, I'm a gold seller to Blizzard's eyes, or two, somebody has hacked my account. Or I'm sharing my account, which all of those things would be a reason to shut that account down. So,
well, yeah, I know in this guy's case, he doesn't do any of that.
Right.
But yeah, and I'm not saying use smoothing.
Absolutely.
In fact, I'm saying don't use it because you're going to get banned for it because this is not the first person who's got hit with it.
Well, Blizzard has even said things like smooth ping are not the reason that they ban folks. And even though it throws up kind of a false sense that something strange is going on, they're not necessarily against smooth ping. From the previous bans that they did like a year and a half ago or whatever it was, where there was a whole bunch of smooth ping bans, they said that they would rather people didn't use it because it kind of shows them a false positive for testing for botting and things like that, but that if you had to use it in order to play, they would understand and you just need to appeal. And if they can prove it's smooth ping, then you're going to be fine.
Yeah, and he, like I said, he got it back. I did, whenever I found out it was smooth ping, I did mention to him, hey, this is going to be part of the reason. I don't know if there's anything else going on.
Yep.
But it's not like I see him on a lot outside of raid time, so it's not like he's going out mining, because that would just be stupid anyway.
But that, in a sense, that makes it worse, because if you're on smooth ping all the time, you're going to have certain servers that it's forcing you to all the time, so at least there's a pattern of connection.
Yeah.
If you're only on a couple of times a week and it's a different location every time a couple of times a week, that actually looks worse.
Yeah, but I know, I'm just saying, outside of raid time, he's not on a whole lot, and when he is on, he's in the raid, so it's not like... So he could get pretty much the entire team more or less to vouch for him and say, yeah, he's not botting, he's just...
They won't even look at that. They'll just look at what's going on. They'll say smooth ping, they'll prove it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's probably a non-issue, and hopefully for him, they resolve it quickly.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting him back this weekend. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are paying attention to the background, dear audience. Something happened this past week. I'm still waiting on mine, even though I paid for it that day.
Wait, what?
I got put into queue. It's Eventbrite all over again.
For the Mystic Runesaber?
Uh-huh. I'm in queue still. I just checked it a little while ago.
So somebody does watch this show
And decided
didn't like
to...
your queue comments and played you in the queue.
Probably.
That's hysterical.
Dang you, Eventbrite!
I don't understand why there's a queue for a virtual item to get mailed to you.
There's only so much information the server can handle at once, pretty much.
And that many people have just ordered the Mystic Runesaber?
Well, I do know that BattleNet went down the moment it went on sale.
Yep. Actually, about 15 minutes later. But yes,
Yeah. Well,
But it's not that
Right after I got
pretty.
it was on it.
yeah.
Is it really pretty?
It's...
I like it.
I can guarantee you it is going to be the biggest seller for a mount. They haven't...
Really?
I mean, more than likely. Obviously, I'm a mount collector, so I was gonna get it because it's not horribly ugly like the ugly flying goat, which is the only thing off the Blizzard store for WoW I do not own.
I was gonna get the Mystic Runesaber until I saw the freaking seat. I am so tired of, since Pandaland, of these big, ginormous freaking saddles on the mounts.
Yeah.
Like, that person needs to be shot. I'm sorry.
I am...
Can we just not have seats on our mounts?
The armor.
Yeah. Personally, I'm laughing hysterical at this mount. I mean, I like it, but at the same time, I think it's both funny and ironic that we're getting a flying mount for content we can't use it in.
But you're getting a flying mount that you can't see the wings when it's on the ground.
Whoa!
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. Earthquake in Canada. Hey, kitty.
It was a cat.
Aw.
He doesn't
Yeah,
ever jump up on my desk, and he just jumped on me and then onto that.
Just put a box nearby. He'll be fine.
There is one right there.
Yeah.
Box of
Hi,
stuff.
Tail.
So yeah, you can't see the wings when you're on the ground.
Yeah.
So they did a good job with that. It is a flying mount, but yet when you're on the ground, you don't see the wings. So they kind of cover their butts on that one. But it is purple, number one. It's semi-translucent, so people who want, the tiger that costs lots of money on eBay and whatnot, it's kind of like that. But it also has runes that glow and change on it too.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it is a very nice looking mount. And as soon as it went for sale, I was like, okay, yeah, bought that one.
Yeah, I was at work when they went on sale, so I had to wait until I got home.
Yep.
And then when I got home,
I soon saw the little tweet between him and Blizzard about how he didn't get it, and I laughed.
I'd never been in queue. I didn't know there was one.
I didn't have a queue. Mine was instant.
Yeah, I didn't know that existed. I thought, okay, you paid for it, it's in your account. So I'm logging in, I'm like, oh, what? Where'd it go? And I went looking, and then they replied, are you in queue? I was like, click, 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 click. Yes.
So, how many days does the queue take?
I don't know. I just know I don't have it yet. Well, more accurately, I didn't have it before I went to work earlier today.
So, does that
So,
mean
so far?
that when you make an order for a mount, there's actually like a game master sitting there opening these tickets and going, kablooby, kablooby, there's a mount in your mailbox?
No, I think what
Only when
it
it's
is,
broken.
I think what it is they put Eventbrite in charge of it.
Oh. He's never getting his mount now.
I know. I'm never gonna get another piece of useful gear out of my garrison either. No, what I think it is I think it was just literally an information thing where there was only so much information, and now they're literally having to manually go through it. And one guy, you don't want to have one guy just sitting there going click, click.
That's
Click.
that's really what I imagine happening.
I'm sure there's a more delicate system in place, but
Well, like, I don't know how it is for other websites, but like, for example, the company I work for, you can do everything online, from like ordering cell phones to cable or internet or moving your stuff or whatever. But they don't have their system automated. So when you actually do it, they have people who just receive the web order and then fulfill it. So maybe that's what happened to BattleNet right now, which is kind of funny.
no, I'm sure Blizzard makes enough money that it's more or less automated. It was probably just a glitch in the system. Oh, you're saying I'm automatically queued forever now.
No, that is the hysterical answer that I think would be amazing if was true. But what I really think happened is they banned all those people first thing in the morning. On the same morning they released them out. They get spammed like crazy through everything because people are bitching because their accounts got banned. Okay? They released them out. It's the best looking mount they've had in a while. A lot of people want it immediately. People do buy it. Somebody gets ticked, starts doing some kind of DDoS, possibly, maybe, who knows, maybe not. And then all of a sudden the servers go down. And it wasn't just the servers, it was the authentication. I can't even say it. Say it for me.
Authentication.
Servers. It was those. So those were down. So it wasn't just a matter of not being able to get on your server. You couldn't sign in for a couple hours. It's like an hour and a half, right? Or something like that.
It was an hour and a half, 2 hours, yeah.
The authentication servers are the ones that also handle your purchases and your store.
Yep.
So they crashed the store either because people loved them out or because people were pissed because they just got banned. That's what happened.
Makes sense.
And you are extremely unlucky and yours hasn't been fixed yet. So in about a day or two, when yours is still queued and everybody else already is getting theirs immediately when they order them, you're gonna have to put another ticket.
Oh yeah.
I'm
And then
kind
they're
of
gonna say they don't
tempted
remember
to-
you ever buying it, and it was never in your bags, and they don't know what you're talking about. Like what
And
happened
what,
to you
and
last
what they will and what they will do is I'll be like, okay, give me an email. I will forward an email to you because I kept it.
And 3 days later, you get your mount.
I'm tempted just to purchase it right now to see if I get put.
Just to see if you get it immediately. That would be so funny.
Oh, if she does that and she gets it immediately, I'm calling Eventbrite is in charge of their store.
Oh boy, that would
I'm
be
not even kidding.
damn funny.
That would annoy me to no end. But yeah, it's $25. It looks amazing, other than the
Saddle.
saddle that Miss.
I don't mind the saddle.
Yeah.
If you have any of the other cat mounts, I mean, you probably do, don't you?
I've got the
That's
Zulian
cute.
Tiger. I'm not. It doesn't have a big back mount, but whatever.
Jackie, do you have any of the other tiger mounts? The Night Elf mounts?
Yeah.
They all have a saddle like that. for
Yeah,
the
but they're small. This one is like a high back. It's like the stupid Zandalari mounts that go like
Okay.
that when you ride. I'm just being picky.
You win.
All right, so yeah, $25. Feel free to get in queue or email us and let us know how you got your mount before me, even though I bought it day one.
Everyone needs to comment how they bought it and got it instantly after watching this show.
Yes, that would at least be some kind of interaction. We're still waiting on you guys. It would be nice. Luckily, we got no death threats because we told you not to last week. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So 3 million subs down, 300K accounts banned for at least 6 months, minus the ones that are reverting. And then we got some details on the earnings call, which I shared the link with you guys earlier. And I was looking this over real quick, and basically what I took from the overall view of it, holy crap, Warlords, here's 3 million subs. And then it goes down, oh, that's normal. So they made a great expansion, and then they lost all them people to the same expansion because, well, that just happens. I'm not buying that.
I buy it for about 70% of that.
I'd go lower, say 50%.
The reason that I say that I do is we are at a lull, and when we get the 6.2 patch, inevitably a good chunk of those are coming back. There's people who have cleared as much of BRF as they care to clear now, and have PvP'd as much as they care to PvP for the season, who will not play till 6.2 drops. And that is a continual cycle that happens all the time, every major patch. So that part I definitely agree with. However, I do think that there are some underlying issues that they need to take a look at in order to continue to make that number grow. And it kind of sounds like a cop-out when they say they're okay with people who play when there's new content and then just don't the rest of the year.
Well,
That doesn't sit well with me.
well, I mean, that's always happened. That's always been their answer.
True, but it should be something that they're okay with. Yeah, you love your player base, but you want your players
To stay. Yeah, you want them to stay, but if you
to enjoy what you're doing.
yeah, if you try to force them to stay,
Yeah, but there's a difference between forcing someone to stay who
Well-
doesn't want to stay and making good enough content that people want to stay.
well, it's just one of those things where every time there's always a few months between real content, and with the exception of last expansion, the first half of it, so you have pre-siege and post-siege. That's where it is. Pre-siege was content. Post was here's siege. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And a year and a half later, here's an expansion. But yeah, that kind of thing sucks, but this to me says they don't understand why people are quitting. And they're just given their go-to answer.
Yep. That's the feeling that I got from that statement.
And I can tell you why people are quitting. there's plenty of stuff to do, but you have to leave your garrison to do it. People are literally logging in, doing their follower missions if they're bothering at all, switching characters, logging off. That's what I've been doing other than raid night for how long now? Like 2.5 months?
That's what I've been doing.
So if that's the problem for a lot of people, because I do the same thing. I mean, I've started doing quests that I haven't done yet just to get out of the garrison. But what is the answer? Getting rid of the garrison entirely? I kind of like the garrison.
No, I don't get me wrong. I like making the gold. Like every now and then I'll venture out, look for a rare or something that I could sell something off of. But for the most part, I don't even level characters anymore. I just don't want to be bothered with it.
So
How do you fix it though? That's the thing. Nobody knows.
I've been wondering that myself because I need to do something more than just log on to the garrisons.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Honestly,
Maybe that should be like a discussion topic for our followers. They should tweet us stuff.
yeah. If you guys think of something, feel free to. What would you like to see? I know a lot of people are wanting the scenarios back, regular and heroic. I don't really want to see the scenarios back. They were boring. It was nice for little bits of story, but after the first 2 times, it's like, okay, we're awful stumming this. Goodbye. Even on heroic, for the most of them.
Yep.
I would honestly. We need new 5-mans. If nothing else, that'll at least get us in. Even if the gear is half a tier below where we are, like, we'll get, instead of giving us Iron Docks at the beginning, that would have been great to have with the release of Blackrock Foundry, because it's right in the same area.
I also like that. You know how in Kata the last 3 dungeons had some epics that were a little better than one of the raid tiers?
Yep.
I like that. I know people complained about it, but I honestly, I think it was good.
And it wasn't just Kata. The one before it had them too.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Kata had the Mandalari ones, and then the other ones were the End of Time ones, right? In Time and a couple other ones. They were 5-mans made to give you catch-up gear that were still challenging, but helped you catch up on your
Yeah.
gear. But I think there's even a better idea. And-
Also,
Go ahead.
check Skype.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't think he's seen it yet. You're
You're
muted.
muted.
Fail! I didn't want you to feel left out. I'm sorry. No, I will check it later, because if I open it, it will mess with the settings, and yeah.
Let's just say somebody didn't have to get in queue.
And okay, so let me fix a setting here so there's only 2 of us. Nah, congrats to you. And again, I will go, dang you, Eventbrite.
In my hoodie.
Yes, and welcome,
Fail. Old
Not
man.
only did she get it,
World of Assassin's
it's
Creed.
like her immediately she had enough time to go out in her garrison and take a screenshot on it to show you. So
Yep.
in that 30 seconds, she got it and screenshotted it.
All right. So anyway, before that, you were saying what to fix.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my idea. We used to have Valor. We used to have Justice points. Well, what did that mean? Yes, you collected it and you used it, and at some point it became unnecessary. But you still have things you could buy with it for a larger portion of the time. So even doing daily heroics got you something that you could use. Right now, doing daily heroics, unless you're a tank or a healer and you're getting one of the, great bags because they need you, there's really no reason to do heroics. Yeah, it's kind of grindy, but when you had Valor to get and Justice to get, there was a reason to do it. So you'd have good players who are well geared, maybe even over geared, doing those dungeons all the time. Not just players who are on alts, who don't have any gear, who are trying to get the legendary quest done or whatever the case may be, or initially getting your gear, running those dungeons like we have now. I do agree a new 5-mans for catch-up gear for me, I think it's a much better idea than what they're doing now. Personally, I think I'm going to probably do one mythic dungeon just to see what it's like, and then I'm not doing it again. And I think that there's probably a lot of other people that will be in the same boat. But if they were new dungeons to get catch-up gear, I would want to experience at least each one of them multiple times. And to me, the Valor and Justice, although it was kind of confusing at times because the way they kept kind of sliding into each other, they made it not necessarily important, but worth it to continue to run 5-mans.
Yep.
Yeah. I hate doing 5-mans, but it's better than what we get, honestly.
It's better than standing around in your garrison, just doing your missions, logging off, and going to another garrison.
I mean, for me, I have every possible role. I have a tank, I have melee, I have range, and I have heals. So I would want to do these dungeons on everyone just to know what to do. But I'm weird like that.
The other solution, kind of, is to make your garrisons account bound.
No.
Yep.
Unless you're going to give us more buildings, no.
I think that not this expansion, but next expansion, if they continue to do a garrison style place, they will, because the time suck and the trap of being stuck in your garrison when you have 5+, and in my case 9 characters who have a level 2 or a higher garrison, you literally have an hour each time you log in.
It depends.
And that's not even counting mining or herbing or going to your profession buildings. That's just doing your missions and taking care of your salvage crates.
Okay. Fair enough. I may have spent Wednesday.
Well, yeah, you saved them all up. It took one whole day to just do salvage
Not
crates.
a whole day. Just
Well, you said it was like 3 hours or something. That's a long time.
3 hours for
Open boxes.
It was just about 3 hours.
Those
for
boxes
one character.
Yeah, exactly.
take way too long to open. They should be instant instead of that.
The cast time. That's good feedback. Actually, you should give that to Blizzard because that's something they could probably fix.
What is the cast time on it?
Like 1.5 seconds, I think.
Cut it in half. Problem solved.
You don't even need a cast time. It's a box. Right click, it's open.
Yeah.
I guess they might have the cast time to make auto clickers not work.
Oh, so you can't have an add-on to open your boxes? Is that really
Yeah.
a necessary part of the game, though?
For
It's
people-
kind of like Garrison Mission Manager.
For
We
people-
made an add-on to do all of this for us, so that we
Don't admit to anything.
That's an add-on that's in the game that they've approved. I don't have to worry about
They've
that one.
approved it. They've
An auto clicker, really?
No, the Garrison
No,
Mission
Garrison
Manager.
Mission Manager, which is basically what it is. Is it
Yeah, that's
tells
true.
you what the best ones to run are based upon the choices you've chosen.
Yeah.
But yeah, an auto clicker for Garrison boxes, the salvage crates, that would be nice for people like me, who don't bother doing it for several days and then get.
Be nice for anybody that has a salvage yard.
But don't do it, you will
700.
get banned.
Yeah, it can't be. We can't call it auto clicker because we will get our
But I've got another character or two with 500 to 700 boxes I need to
Oh
open.
my god.
Not to mention the ones that are in the mail because I can't be bothered to open them.
Wait, you can stick them in the mail?
If
Once
you,
bags are-
if you win them and your bags are full, everything you get from the followers get. Into the-
Oh, I thought you actually made.
including your XP token on lower characters, which is silly.
I might have had some thrown into the mail on that too.
Yeah.
So
I had
have a
XP in the
question.
mail.
Yep.
I did Garrison on my lobby, but I never saw any tokens in my bag, even though I had the XP ones. Did it just go into my XP bar?
If you have bag space, your XP token thing is automatically gained. If you don't have room in your bags, it goes to the mail, and then you have to get it out of the mail. But when you take it out of the mail, you have room in your bags. It's automatically gained.
It's like a token that automatically is clicked on as soon as it goes in your bag.
So it automatically goes to your XP bar.
Yes, unless
Oh,
your
okay.
bag's full. If your bag's full, it goes in the mailbox. But
Which makes no
you can't
sense.
send it to another character.
It's, it's count bound. It's
It's
not,
really funny.
It's soul bound.
As soon as you click on it, then it's going to go into your actual.
Gotcha.
What I want to do is I'm going to have full bags at 99 on a character and do an XP mission that will push me to 100. And as soon as I hit 100, I want to open it just to see what it does.
You're going to break the server.
Wouldn't be the first time I've broken a server.
This would be why you're still in queue.
It would be the first time I broke a WoW server.
Sure.
Really.
Oh boy.
I used to, going way back years and years, I played a game called City of Heroes. I don't know if you guys know anything about it, but basically I played, it was called a blaster, which is basically a mage. And I spec'd Pure Fire, and there was one ability, you could basically turn yourself into a nuclear bomb. And potions and flasks and that, all that had different names, and they would stack. You could have like 15 of one at once, or however many you could get your hands on in a certain amount of time. I had stacked so much, I went to the main boss at the end and had enough defense that they couldn't kill me. I blew myself up
Yeah,
with every mob in the entire zone on me,
that's funny.
and the server crashed.
That's funny.
And then I got to talk to one of their GMs, and they were like, "What did you just do?" And I told them, and they were like, "That's really clever. Don't do that again." The downside is the main boss had 1 hit point left.
Alright,
That sucks.
Yeah, I was like, dang it, I need one more buff.
even if it didn't, it probably would have put one back on it. Just
Yeah.
to-
So you cannot one-shot that particular boss. But everyone else got back in time to kill it before it healed up.
Well, that's cool.
So we got to finish that real quick, and everyone was like, "That was amazing. Don't do that again." I almost named a tune in that, made a new one and named it "Don't Do That Again."
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
But that's another game, another story.
So, back on the earnings call,
Yep.
on the link that you gave us, we talked a little bit about our feeling for what they were saying, but the other thing I thought was kind of funny is if you look under the new content for the patch that's coming up, first line, one of the largest content patches ever released. Does that not sound like a sales job?
yes.
They're trying to sell us on 6.2 with that.
And I work in sales.
I mean, I do too, but I work in anti-sales, kind of.
You want this? Okay, I'll sell it too. Oh, you don't want it? Okay, bye.
Oh, that's cool. You should go get that. Anyway, that's pretty much what it is. But it just seems kind of funny to me because it's like okay, we don't really care. We understand people don't play the game all the time, but by the way, here's this great new patch that's going to come out, and it's got all this cool stuff in it that you might want to come check out. Sure, you don't care. I don't buy it.
Well,
No, they care. It's just they know people are going to leave because it's the same thing that happens every patch.
I think that they are PR exploding all over this, trying not to make it a bigger deal than it is, but at the same time also trying to cover their backside, is what I really think.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, with massive overhauls. Honestly, one thing I did see somewhere that they didn't think transmog was going to be as big. It's not in this page, I don't think, in the earnings call. But when it blew up the way it did, they really do need to make old legendaries transmoggable.
I think there's an even better way on that if we want to play tinfoil hat time.
Oh, I don't have tinfoil. I'll have to get some for eventually.
Rather than make old legendaries transmoggable, which I do think would be cool, make a way to make them relevant again.
I agree.
No, I don't want that.
Well, they don't have to be super OP again.
If you make them relevant again, if keeping them in the exact same way as they are or were, every tank is going to have Thunder Fury. Every caster is going to have the Fireland staff. Every rogue will have the daggers. Every warrior, DK, and paladin will have Shadowmourne. And
What's wrong with that?
no, those weapons were broken for when they were relevant at the time. I don't want everybody to be so overpowered.
I think you mistake what I'm saying. I'm not saying have them be OP as hell the way they were when they were level cap.
They're not legendary if they're not overpowered.
But the fact that they were a legendary to me means they should be timeless. Not OP, but timeless, meaning they're still relevant. So if the level cap's 715 at the moment or whatever it is, they could max out a few levels lower than that. And
Do they keep their procs and all that stuff?
that's the thing. I think some of that stuff would have to get toned down because some of those are too OP.
Yeah.
So they may have to adjust them. But since they've never been at our current eye level, it's not just going to be a percent increase. You know, this goes to this much higher. They would have to retune them anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking if there was a relevant quest line for each one of the legendaries, and we're not talking about that many different legendaries, but a relevant quest line for each one of the legendaries, a few quests each that were hard,
Yeah.
like basically what you have to go through to get your ring now, which is pretty grindy, something like
but
that,
not that hard.
right? Then that would be cool. And yes, I don't really think it's a problem if everybody has the same one, if they all had to go through the same thing. to get
Okay.
it.
Here's a question I will pose to you then. The cloaks,
Yep.
are you including those?
Yeah, why not?
Because you can't get them anymore.
I did not know you could not get them anymore. That would, yeah, you shouldn't be able to do it if you can't get them anymore. I think they should put it back in so people can get them again if they're going to do that.
And the same with Atiesh from Old Nax.
Well, that hasn't been around for a long time, so to a lesser degree, I would think they should put it back. But you don't have Old Nax anymore, so they'd have to put it in New Nax, and right now that'd be pretty.
I would be perfectly fine with them just if we were going to put all of them back in, even the ones we can't get anymore. Put that back in, no problem. Make it relevant. If you're going to go all out, go all out. The only one I would not do until at least another expansion or two would be the cloak, because once that expansion ended, you couldn't get it anymore.
Mm.
And the only reason I would say I'd be okay with Atiesh being in is because it's been how long?
Right. It's been a while.
Yeah, and so
I
if you have
agree
it, that's
with both of those.
yeah, that's freaking amazing if you have it. That's one of the few I do not own and I can't get.
Yeah.
But I didn't play during that expansion either. Well,
And then there's
classic.
there's
I
so
don't even
many
know what
that
that
they
looks
do
like.
them, a couple at a time if they wanted to also.
Yeah.
And figure out a way to work them back into the game. Like to me, Gorehowl, they should have taken Gorehowl out of Karazhan and somehow included it in this expansion.
Okay.
Don't agree?
No, I'm keeping my opinions on that one to myself because I know something that's coming up in a bit.
Okay. Enough said.
But getting back to the earnings call, I don't. Other than what we've already mentioned, I don't see anything that really stands out.
Not really.
There isn't anything.
I mean, they threw in some social stuff, which is what keeps a lot of people playing.
They've definitely had some wins. The whole looking for group, the way that it is now, where it's
Yeah.
basically like open raid built into the game, is very useful, and a lot of people are using that quite a bit. So they've had some wins from the social aspect.
Yeah.
The big loss, though, of being stuck in your garrison kind of counterbalances most of them.
Well, I mean, we're stuck in our garrison. We have access to trade chat for those of us who didn't turn it off.
True.
As opposed to last expansion where we were not stuck in the shrine, we just didn't leave.
I hate the shrine.
Or the expansion prior to that.
Well, no, we
Mars
did. We
Stormwind.
flew down to the farm to pick some herbs and fruit or whatever it was, and then flew back to the shrine.
Most of
I
us
never
were
did the
back.
farm.
Yeah. But
I kind of liked the farm at first.
oh, the farm was great because you had to earn everything, make it bigger. And then you had a couple items that you could pick up and make it go a little bit quicker, and you might have fought some stuff. But I mean, if they would have thrown ways to make gold without, going to an auction house, that would have been almost perfect. But
I
whatever.
hated the farm.
I just, I went and got the pets and stuff like that, just because I had to.
I think I bought the pets.
Yeah, so I don't really see a whole lot else with the earnings call there. So next up, and I'm going to quote the show notes exactly. Holy crap, that Grom cosplay rocks.
Okay, that Grom cosplay was seriously sexy. And I don't think Grom is sexy at all, but it was seriously awesome.
And it's not showing up.
Oh,
Why is it not showing up? I set it up to show up.
You'll have to edit it in.
Well, I'm just going to edit it as we go. Go ahead and talk.
There you go. So, did you guys see the pictures of the Grom statue that was at BlizzCon last year?
Yes.
It's just like,
Yeah.
like when I first saw the pictures for this cosplay, I'm like, isn't that the statue that Mike D
Yeah.
put on Twitter? You know, and like, oh my God, that's actually not the statue. It was kind of amazing. They did an amazing job on that. That looks movie quality.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's not showing up, so screw you, OBS. And
User error.
more than likely. Pebcac. Alright, well, since that's not going to work, I'm going to close that out.
What?
Yeah, it looked... Pebcac. Problem exists between keyboard and chair.
Oh, right.
You're supposed to know that one.
I don't work in tech support. I transferred to tech support.
Yeah. I'm so
I
sorry.
work in that.
You're going to need to learn it then.
No.
There's also error ID 10T.
I don't know that one.
IDIOT.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I was going to put it up there. You guys watching saw a black screen. I'll probably put it in there to show it in there, but if not, then the conversation will make more sense.
That Grom is cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. There's also this other thing involving Grom.
I would totally go.
I don't understand why it's. I mean, not the reason that the festival thing is happening, but why he's going and why Blizzard stuff is going to be there. It makes no sense to me.
I think just because they like metal music, the developers, so they're making it
Yeah.
a PR thing.
But yeah, so the Iron Horde invades something called Hellfest 2015. It is in western France. And apparently 2 of the old school games, Blackthorn and Rock and Roll Racing, are going with them. Along with, more than likely, what looks to be Elite Tauren Chieftain band.
Did you see my rock thing? You were reading. I was like, rock. Anyways.
So this really is this just an advertisement for the ETC?
Pretty much.
Probably. I mean, I saw them on the virtual ticket last year. They were cool. To me, their set lasted too long, but I've been to a few concerts. I know how long opening bands should be on there. They were on there for enough for 2 opening bands.
Yeah.
Which,
They're a novelty band who happens to play their instruments well, but they are a novelty band. Novelty bands should play 5 songs and then move along.
yeah. And he got bragging rights. He can now forever say, I opened for Metallica.
Exactly.
That's all you needed to do. So unless something happened where Metallica was running late,
Yes.
which is possible,
Which, if that did happen, then okay, then it's understandable.
Yeah.
But definitely didn't tell anybody that.
they should, if that was what happened, they should have said Metallica was running a little late. That's why they played these extra songs. But the fact that they played certain songs towards the end
Yeah. it
does
was-
not imply that.
I may get pelted with stones here, but I honestly don't really care for their music at all.
Except for a couple of songs. I think a couple of their songs are pretty funny
Yeah.
because of the novelty factor. It's not something I would listen to every day, but if I wanted to show something funny and musical about WoW, I would include that.
Yeah. I mean, I would not be upset if they were at BlizzCon every year, played 5 to 7 songs, 5 to 7. That way they're not just.
And 2 more than I do.
I'm being polite. It does happen from time to
He's
time.
trying to get off of his cue.
I still hate you, Eventbrite. No, I'm perfectly fine with an opening band, especially if there's only one opening band.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. If there's only one opening band, 5, 7 songs. Don't get into double digits. That's too many. But that's my opinion. As Dennis Miller used to say, I could be wrong. Yeah, they didn't really give a whole lot of information on that. So moving on. 6.2 patch notes got updated. There wasn't a whole lot there that got changed. They went into more detail about the bonus event weekend things. Yeah, that's really about it, honestly.
Which, hand in hand with that, kind of goes back a little bit to the earnings call notes. They talked up the new dungeons, the mythic dungeons and the time walking dungeons, about how it's going to make 5-mans more relevant. But the time walking dungeons are just weekend events, and they're only 2 out of the 5. Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, they are not very many. There's like 1 or 2 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
There's, I think, 8 time walking dungeons that got listed, maybe 10.
So how exactly does a few days out of the month of having those dungeons, which yes, I agree they're cool, really make them relevant?
They don't. The fact that you could possibly get something out of them at the end.
If to be perfectly honest on those, I don't really care about gear. I just want to experience that dungeon at Cap.
Well, I played in Wrath.
So
Experiencing the heroic dungeons at Cap, not exactly difficult. This is how hard they were. My Retribution Paladin threw on Righteous Fury and tanked half of them.
yeah.
That,
But
being,
not all of them
that
are
being said,
half dungeons either. There's some Burning Crusade dungeons.
oh yeah, the Burning Crusade ones were harder, definitely. But going back to the Wrath ones, I can top that. My off-spec at the time was Holy. I holy tanked those heroic dungeons. I holy tanked OS, not 3D, but OS.
Wow.
Malagos. No, not Malagos. What was the other one?
Malagos was Eye of Eternity.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Ruby Sanctum?
No. The first one, I know the first heroic I tanked as holy was the Oculus. Because we got in there, the tank left. I'm like, you know what? Screw this. Righteous Fury, go. You know what really happened? The 4 of us, we made it all the way to the end boss before the tank showed up. And the tank's like, oh, Oculus. And I'm like, yeah, we're here at the last boss waiting on you. He's like, oh, tank that ditched right to the end boss. I was like, no, he ditched right at the beginning. I holy tanked this thing.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, he did amazing. I still... Holy Paladin at the time was so overpowered. You could... If I wanted aggro, you could not take aggro. And, you know, being that I had some gear, people couldn't die either, so...
Yep.
But, yeah, that's how easy Wrath Heroics were. Even Oculus, which is the worst one, was cake.
I liked Oculus. I didn't know why everybody else hated it. I thought it was fun.
Everyone hated it because you actually had to pay attention to, like, 2 pulls.
There was a couple of hectic pulls, but at that time I was healing mostly. I was a holy priest. And it was a little crazy, but I would just save all my cool stuff for those 2 pulls, 3 pulls, whatever it was. And the rest of it was simple. And then I would always have to explain the dragons to everybody at the end.
Yeah.
I still hate those dragons.
I was the only person in most of my groups that was actively trying while the first time going through, can we get this achievement? Can we get this achievement? This is how you do it. No. Fine.
That's how it's, everybody get on a red. Everybody get on a red every time.
Yeah. The hardest one to do was everyone get on a green.
Yep.
And
The
then-
green are all the healing ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one takes a while. Go ahead. No? Alright. Getting back to patch notes. Here's one that I found hysterically funny, to the point where I literally cracked up laughing for a minute and a half when I saw this. Players may now queue in the dungeon finder while engaged in PvP combat.
Wait, you couldn't before?
Exactly.
What? Why?
I don't know, but that's what made it funny to me.
So does that mean they can take a queue, or does that mean they can actually queue for?
I think it's they can queue for, because it says they may now queue up. So
They
to
could
me,
do that before. I know that it would stop you from taking a queue if you were dead.
well, it wouldn't pop. That's always been the case. If you're in combat, it doesn't pop.
I've had them pop before when I was in combat. It just won't let you take it.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah, I can see why you laughed. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, what?
I'm so badass. I'm gonna queue for a dungeon while I kick your ass.
I'm bored with one. If you're playing Arcane Mage, one, two, Q,
Instead of-
one.
Instead of bubble hearth, it's bubble Q, and then now I kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the changes. I mean, for the most part. There was in the toy box, Silver Sage Incense now only applies its effect to the character that placed the item, which, whatever.
Then what's the use of having it?
Exactly.
Half the toys I don't.
Is that the thing that turned your screen green a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you passive pretty much, or at least it used to. The other one I saw for Apexis crystals, which is a big change. The first 4 tiers of Apexis gear no longer cost Apexis crystals, but
What?
can be purchased with gold. I saw some people show me some screenshots of pictures taken, and it's like 35,000 gold. So apparently Blizzard thinks it's worth 1 month of game time, and then some, almost 2 months, to get one piece of gear which is not even good.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they're basing that off of the current, auction house market and eye level gear that's going through there.
I think honestly, I'm hoping it's just placeholder, because if it's not placeholder,
It needs to be
it's insanely high and not worth.
And I don't think they should be giving it away, because a catch-up mechanic should never be how much gold do you have.
Well, this entire expansion is how much gold do you have.
Yeah.
It's kind of true.
I mean, you can make an argument for Apexis crystals too, but honestly, this expansion turned into how much gold do you have? How much gold can you throw at garrisons? Because if you don't have the level 3 garrison, you don't go to Tanan. If you don't go to Tanan, you don't get to raid.
You can't spend 5K on a boat. You get to sit there on your docks.
You can sit there and be like, guys.
Coming. So
Over
you know,
here?
that's gonna happen like crazy. People are gonna be like, "Hey, I don't have a boat. Can I get a summon?" It's gonna happen like. I wonder if they'll lock them out.
Remember Ordos?
Yeah, with all the people that didn't have
I'm hoping it's an Ordo. It's the same as Ordos. You have to have a level 3 garrison.
summon them and it ports them right back to their.
End of story. You have to have it.
You
No.
didn't
You could
sell-
probably get summoned into the raid itself if you have a warlock.
That would make sense. You know, I've often wondered this. I really think that they should do this. I think the summoning stone should be inside the instance.
I agree.
For convenience, it makes sense. For lore, it's kind of like, why don't raids have mailboxes? Well, would you want to be the mailman delivering their mail?
Well, my thought is not lore related. It's more actual convenience of life, and almost all the changes they've made have been convenience changes, and they don't get used very much except for in raids at this point anyway. Like all the dungeon ones, nobody ever touches them because everybody just queues for them. But in the raids, they do still get used, and I just think it would be easier if they were inside. Now, on our server, Airy Peak, we're PvE, so it doesn't really matter. And I have partaken in a lot of battles at the summoning stones on the PvP servers. So if they want to leave them there, that's cool. But on PvE servers, I think they should be inside the raid.
Well, there you go. You're having different, other than different rules, you're having different world. So
I'm joking. They should be inside all of them, personally, I think.
honestly, if they put them inside, that's going to make the PvP servers QQ. If they leave them outside, the PvE servers are going to QQ, but they can't attack anybody, so it doesn't matter. That's really what it is. Now, I know in Cataclysm, Blackwing Descent, I was Horde at the time. There was an alliance that had a raid team that was always there, and we were on a PvE server then too. It was a different server, but we would just randomly one of them would be randomly flagged, one of us would be randomly flagged, whatever, and you could attack a flagged character even when you weren't flagged at the time. And we got into so many back and forth.
I can one up you. Nax, new Nax. I was playing a priest, so I mind controlled Horde characters out of Nax on a regular basis.
But you never went after a druid or a mage.
Oh, I did.
That
The
would be
druids were funny because they would just pop into a bird. And yeah, the mages would pop slow fall and slowly float down, which is still inconvenient for them, so I didn't care. I was griefing. But, you know, it was still hysterical funny.
I would have. Do you have to keep line of sight?
Oh, not only initially.
So what I would have done then is kept the mind control going until they landed.
Well, no, you'd lose it once they were about 20 feet away from the door. So, yeah, you couldn't really hold on to it till they actually fell all the way down.
Yeah.
It'd get probably like a third of the way and you'd lose the mind control.
Yeah.
But then you'd still have them targeted, so you'd see them die.
Yeah. So I would have gone after characters that have no ability to not die.
When that was going on, I went after anybody that was red. It was a saying: if they're red, they're dead.
Yeah.
Because I was on a PvP server that was all about.
Okay,
that
see,
was
that's
Alliance, but
that's a
they
little
were
different then.
Dead.
Yeah, that's a little different then. I don't play on PvP servers only because I don't want to get ganked while leveling. And I started on a PvP server, so I can complain about it.
I did too.
If
I
you
was on Agwin.
Yeah.
Agwin, however you say it. But
age win, I think.
there is nothing like leveling in early Burning Crusade through STV.
Yeah, STV and what was that? Torn Mill for Horde?
Thornmill, yep. Thornmill
What's
itself.
STV?
Stone,
Thorn Valley.
yeah. Stranglethorn Valley, before it got split in two, they had a raid there. ZG, the original ZG. And then not that far away from there was also Karazhan. Because it's basically one zone over, but almost connected.
Yeah.
So, and then there was a Horde city as well as Booty Bay there.
No,
So-
admittedly, we didn't have Azeroth flying at the time, but
No, but you would have chains of max level characters going by running to the raid because they couldn't queue for it. So they were all running to the summoning stone to summon their buddies and killing anything that was red along the way.
yeah.
That was
My personal favorite world PvP was on my Horde Warlock, my first one, because he's since been deleted, but I think it was the Badlands. It started off with me versus, I think it was a shaman. 1-on-1. It turned into 40 versus 40-ish, but before we ended.
there's some of the good ones. You get your buddies and he gets their buddies,
Yeah.
and everybody all of a sudden.
He got his buddies first.
Yeah. Those were fun. I missed those a little bit. You don't get that on the PvE server very much.
No,
But
we
you
were on
also
a PvE
level
server.
peace.
Yeah, we were on a
See-
PvE server.
Airy Peak, that just doesn't happen. No, we don't have a huge amount of Horde.
Well, you also have to keep in mind, if you have the CTR tag, they know you have some friends that you can call.
I'm bringing 9,000 buddies with me. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, here's that one Horde. You have more people in your guild than I have on my side on this
Yeah.
server.
There's not 9,000 Horde.
Now, Cross Realm has helped with that, so that you don't really have to worry about that as much. But that also means we have access to more people too.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of who can get more quicker. And being that we are CTR,
Still doesn't happen as often as it.
yeah,
I think it would.
yeah, not so much. Yeah. So live server 6.1.2 hotfixes went out on the 11th. They've made the legendary ring quest a little bit easier.
What did they do?
Inside job, which is the Garona mission at the end, reduce the number of guards present and the amount of their health for the quest area.
Okay.
Fixed an issue where Garona may sometimes fail to kill their target. Apparently that was a thing that, I don't know. I mean, sometimes they didn't fall over and burn, but they always disappeared on me, so I assume they died.
I've not done this quest.
I haven't done it yet.
You don't have the 715 ring at all?
I have the 715 ring.
Oh, okay, you haven't gone on to get her as a follower.
Right.
Okay.
I still need to loot the thing after Maidens and then the thing after Blackhand. And again,
This is why you need to do LFR. Just
I'm
once.
good on the druid. And I'm not that far along on any of my other characters. I'm getting close though.
Yeah.
LFR sucks.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying just to get that part
Just need
done.
the DPS and the druid, then it'll be fine. I just no desire to tank an LFR.
Well, I'll tell you what. Me and you can get together sometime, and I will tank one just because.
And then they'll bitch at us because we're working too well together.
Well, guess what? So what? I put them on ignore anyway. I just pull.
Yeah.
Tank for the win.
Go.
If you don't pull, I will. Go. It'll be fine. Go. I've seen that video a few times.
Those words just piss me off as a tank. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If I get someone who's pulling a lot, I just will type in, if you pull it, I'm not going to tank it, so have fun. But generally they don't care because I'm on my tank and 5-mans can almost not kill me because I'm designed as a Death Knight to be able to tank 5-mans.
What? Death Knights can't tank 5-mans. Oh, wait.
Okay, they can't tank anything then. Okay. There's a few other things. Old school stuff. Nothing major. Under raids and dungeons though, Blackrock Foundry. Guess what? Here's the Nerf bat.
Swing it.
Yeah. Blast Furnace, Iron Maidens, and Blackhand all got extra nerfs, whereas just in general they have nerfed it a little bit, but that's already been there. But yeah, I'm sorry?
Which difficulty got nerfed?
All of them.
Wow.
Well,
They really want that content clear.
for Blackhand anyway, all of them got nerfed. Demolition from Blackhand, 20% less damage, and 5% less damage from the big one, the massive demolition, on every difficulty. Marked for death. Should no longer target players who just got knocked away from Shattering Smash, which takes away a little bit of the RNG of the fight. I agree with that change, though.
And what date did this go through?
May 11 is whenever this post was put up for live.
Okay. That's shot out, and I'm going to give it out now instead of waiting. Crisp, Bay's Guild from Final Boss TV just beat Mythic Blackhand.
Yay!
Sure, if that was before or after that buff or nerf, because that's like the same day. So I don't know if they beat it before it got nerfed or not.
Honestly, either way, that's still not going to be an easy fight.
Yeah, it's still amazing, and I was watching it, just thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you were to get it down while I was watching? Because I was doing some other stuff at the same time. But it's kind of funny because he has to kind of hide in the corner for half the fight. So you would see him kind of run to the corner and then look down to see, when he got the AOE around his feet, and he'd be staring at his pet. So it'd be he goes in the corner and stares at his pet. I was like, that's an interesting mechanic.
What does he play?
And stares at his pet. I believe it's a melee shaman.
Okay. Yeah.
Really good too. Normally his DPS is like one of the best in his guild from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But in the Blackhand fight, he was pretty low because he kept having to do that.
Yeah. That fight, melee is either going to be amazing or awful. It really depends on a few different things. If you get thrown up in the balcony area or not, if you can focus on the boss, if the Siege tank can get close enough to the boss that you can cleave a little bit. If you die to a bomb or whatever.
Yeah. All I know is they were screaming and hooting and hollering for about
Yeah.
15 minutes after they killed it, which was pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Blackhand's health got reduced by 5% on Mythic. And Shattering Smash now deals 25% less on Mythic difficulty. Because outside of Mythic, it really doesn't do much. And then the Iron Soldiers, which is the balcony area, have 15% reduced health on Mythic. Which makes that second phase so much easier. Apparently something in Siege broke, because Galacrass will the air turrets. Do you remember when Swayze got stuck?
Yeah, I saw that thing today.
That's the thing.
Apparently that was still happening. They finally fixed it.
A few of us
year-
went back the other night, and basically we're either 4 or 5 manning heroic siege.
You were
Seriously?
You were four-manning
Wow.
most of it, and then you had someone drop,
And right,
and then I came in, and we
Right.
got all the way to Garrosh and gave up.
oh yeah, you're right. We did get the Gary.
You gave up on Garrosh?
The mind controls.
It was like 2:30 in the morning.
The mind controls is what did it, because it's a set number of people, and there's not enough people
Yeah,
to
we
do
had
interrupts.
4 people in the group, and 2 of them got mind controlled. So we kicked one, and then the other one mind controlled somebody else, and then it was done.
Yeah.
So
You-
it was yeah.
Gotcha.
yeah. So
You need more than 4 people on that. 4 is not a good number.
Well, there's no BOAs on him anymore, so.
yeah.
It's probably fairly, I don't know about easy, but possible to solo, because I don't think you'll mind control the tank.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
Go on.
bringing a few extras makes it a little tricky on the mind control, especially on.
I do know that the bugs. What?
The Claxy, the
Yeah,
Paragon?
the Paragon's fight. I know that's probably not soloable. At least not in normal / heroic gear for what we got. Because I know you were getting wrecked there for a while.
But I was getting wrecked because I was meleeing the Kung Chongs, which you're not supposed to do.
Well,
So
once
that's why I was
once
getting wrecked.
they honestly don't.
They eat like 2/3 of your health.
They don't honestly hit all that hard outside of that initial
Exactly.
eat. And I mean, I was turning and trying to burn them down, but
I was kind of tired, so I was ignoring half the mechanics too. Like, I don't know what color I was. I didn't really care. I was just,
we never had that mechanic.
okay, well, there you go. I
Yeah.
didn't even remember it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was late. Throne of Thunder apparently had some issues. Dragon Soul had some issues, which I found hysterical. But they're apparently fixed.
Yay.
Yay. Sad day for Paladins. Hand of Freedom can no longer be used when stunned.
Really?
Yeah.
Why that nerf? That's like what it's for.
well, most of them are human, so they can just use the other one.
Well, yeah, but we have a couple other things we can get out of. But Hand of Freedom is something we use on other people. We have our own. It's called Emancipate. It doesn't break everything, but yeah. So it's still sad, but
So, if you have your own called Emancipate, you could just emancipate yourself and then use Hand of Freedom on somebody, right?
if Emancipate works, it doesn't work on everything. But like if you're stunned, it doesn't break stun. You can, you might be able to bubble out of it. Usually, when you're stunned, you're just stunned, and you gotta wait. Emancipate is more for, hey, my character slowed down. Okay, well, back to regular.
Cool.
Yep. Okay, so that's a whole lot of WoW stuff, and we haven't gotten anywhere else, and we're already an hour and a half in.
Holy crap.
So, Hearthstone, nothing new. I'm going to save what we had there for another time, because it was just, speculation and hopes. StarCraft, someone has news there, but it's pretty much taking the same view of it as I am at the moment. And
I got in the beta, but I don't even have the game downloaded, so...
Yeah. She has it, she's not playing it.
Yep.
By the way, Blizzard, fix the matchmaking. I will play. I will give feedback. And I will stop saying I hate Event... Well, no, I'll keep saying I hate Eventbrite, but I won't say Eventbrite's in charge of your store anymore.
It's probably fixed. You should log on and see.
More than likely. I did see something really strange for Diablo this week, though. I didn't do a whole lot of research into it, but apparently people were worried about the Cow King and his followers coming to take over, which was only made worse by Diablo's Twitter changing to a cow, and the Cow King is their name.
That's funny.
So, but they've officially said don't worry about it, it's not happening, which tells me something's happening with the cow level.
I never got in the so I never got the staff maid to actually go in that part of it, but I did get one of the treasure goblins once who opened the room, which is almost the same thing I've heard. So
Yeah,
I got to see that part.
I had some fun in that room, and I made it a point to kill all the little goblins that he spawns instead of the boss for more gold, because he didn't hit anywhere near hard enough to kill my barbarian.
Wait, there was a boss?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't go far enough?
Oh no, there was a boss.
That
There was
big,
a
ugly,
boss.
fat thing that the
Yeah.
giant chest comes down and crushes him.
I forgot.
And then you can play with the chest afterwards and open and close, and it'll just it'll open up and squish a little more blood out. And it's funny. But yeah. Go ahead. You were going to say something. Not you, her.
I don't remember what I was.
Okay. So yeah, that was about it for Diablo. Cow conspiracy has been officially debunked, which means expect something cow related. Heroes. Just a couple quick notes. Free this week: ETC, Jaina, Lily, Sonia, Uther. Sonia, what? Okay, I screwed something up. You got some free ones. Thrall's at 15. Half off Falstead, 4.25. Stormlord Falstead, 375. Angelic Vala, which actually looks kind of cool, about $5. I did find a website that if you're playing the game and you want to know like talent builds, heroesnexus.com, and you can look by which hero you want to play as, which map to play them on, and it'll actually filter in what builds are actually being voted up as being good.
That's pretty cool.
So instantly, of course, I went to Abathur, and my build is nowhere near any. It's not even there. I'm like, do I know something these guys don't? Because whenever I use this build, I wreck face. Like,
Well, that just proves you should never go by the guides, but just go by what you like.
find the guides and do a build and whatnot. But I'm just looking at it, it's like, okay, this one makes sense. These all make sense for these things, but I'm okay, whatever. I checked out a couple.
Nobody plays Abathur except you.
No, there's like 8 guides up.
I actually got a chance to watch Lore streaming some heroes, and it
I
made
saw
me-
that last night.
Yeah.
He's really good at ETC.
Yes, and he got the country one.
I won't hold that against him. Yeah,
It was freaking cool.
yeah, I'm not gonna hold that
It
against
made
him.
me want to start playing it a little bit. Watch
Yeah.
it.
I am, speaking of ETC, I am about 85-90% through level 9, which means level 10 coming soon,
Sweet.
which means Master Skin. And because I had 20,000 gold and a Master Skin is only 10,000, I wasted 10,000 gold and I bought Lost Vikings.
Why is that wasted?
I haven't played them yet at all.
Oh,
So I decided, you know what? I'm going to be part of the problem and be one of the 98% that suck. So I will definitely play them versus AI and not against people, unless I find I'm really good at them. But the way I'm looking at it, they're listed as very hard. Abathur is listed as very hard. I seem to be fairly decent at Abathur, so maybe I'll be okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And then I dipped into Hero League. I am 2-2 at the moment. So
question real quick.
yes.
Being a noob still for heroes, can you buy those things with gold as well as money, or are certain things gold and certain things money?
Heroes, I know you can buy with gold, in-game gold. Skins are all money.
Okay. And since this is a beta, and people are talking about they're spending tons of money on it, are you getting to keep all of this stuff once it's officially out?
They are not resetting. They've already said it. And if they did reset, you would get refunded. Because that's what happened when the alpha turned into beta. They did a reset, everyone got refunded all the money. So.
Yep, I may have to give it a shot this week.
Yeah. And then I don't have anything ready for them, but Overwatch actually had 2 videos put out. Mercy and Zenyatta, I think is his name. Gameplay. They're about 10 minutes each. They're out on YouTube, so go check them out if you want to see that. Mercy looked cool. I didn't actually get to see the Zenyatta one. And yeah. And I can see that Scarlet is about ready to waffle face.
Yes.
Since it is now 2 in the morning.
I usually, I get home at like 6 p.m. I'm in bed by like 7:30.
I can't do that.
I normally I couldn't before, but now because of this like 2-hour commute to work, it like I can't.
Yeah.
So this is really painful for me. Sorry, I love you guys.
See, that's how much we want our fans to be happy. She's staying up now almost 5 hours past her usual bedtime for you.
7. So you got to throw that in there. Of 7.
7 hours, yeah. Well,
Usual bedtime of 7.
well, either way, it doesn't matter what the bedtime is.
I'm a grumpy old lady now.
ECB. All right, so
I guess
do you guys have anything else?
Oh,
Blizzard
nope.
stuff? Because I got nothing else.
We covered a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, we actually had WoW content, which was weird since none of us are playing WoW all that much.
Well,
I
mean,
miss it. I miss raiding.
Yeah.
I play it when it sucks. I play it when it's great. I pretty much what I
Yeah,
play.
I mean, I'm still playing it. It's just I'm just mostly playing Heroes at the moment.
So when whoever it is that works at Blizzard that watches the stream decides to continue to let you be in queue, just a note to pass along: give me armory on here and other cool stuff, please.
That wouldn't be bad. All right, so we'll do a quick round of shout-outs. We'll go ladies first, and she's about to pass out.
I have my pillow.
Shout out to the authors of all the WoW books.
Except
That is right there. That shoulder.
all the authors but Knack, because his books aren't that great.
And I have a kitty cat on the bed. No. Day of the
kidding.
Dragon
I'm
is
kidding.
a bee's balls.
Okay. I'm kidding. Everyone's allowed having their own opinions.
Amaze balls.
Binoculars.
Binoculars. We're gonna stick with binoculars.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Shout out to
All right. So we're gonna move on then.
Shout out to everybody.
Yay, everybody! And up in the upper left, with the epic fail sign still going.
Oh yeah, still going.
It's awesome.
Really don't have a whole lot this week as far as like shout outs go. Obviously, Busted Folks and our new team that we're joining on Monday. Hopefully everything will work out with that. Would love to have a much bigger group. CTR in general, still doing well. Basically it. I mean, shout out to Apple for getting me my watch. Rocking that and that.
Suck up.
Samsung had them first.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Nope. I will give a shout out to Busted. I got to raid with them this week. Asparagus Initiative, obviously. I raided with them. Rubber Chicken Coalition, because
chicken.
I raided with them. Hi, Swayze. The usual Azeroth Roundtable, Torn Think Tank. And for no apparent reason, I will give a shout out to Kael'thas on Twitter, because we got into a back and forth earlier today when he took over the Heroes Twitter, which was fun.
Kael'thas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kael'thas?
Yeah.
Kael? From
Kael apostrophe THAS. Yeah.
the
Did
blood.
he tell you it was just a setback?
Oh yeah. It started with him talking, and then WoW chimed in with, "How do you go on?" and blah blah. Basically, they were paraphrasing that last fight scene in the Matrix, and I was like, "Is Kael'thas the Neo?" and then it just kept going and going. He's like talking to Jaina, like, "I could have given you a castle or a pyroblast to the face," and I forget what I said to that, but it was me and him were going back and forth. I don't know who was role playing for him, but he must have been like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, he talked smack about Jaina. I was like, yeah, and then Warcraft was like, "Don't mess with Jaina," or Hearthstone did it. "Don't mess with Jaina. Her magic will tear you apart." And then I replied to that saying, "Yeah, Jaina's the bomb." Too soon? Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, super good, man. That was.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it just was. He was going back and forth like, "It's better to have loved and lost than to turn into a fell nightlight." And I was like, "You would know, wouldn't ya?" And he just going back and forth. He was trying to be like, "I actually cared about Jaina." I'm like, okay. I was keeping it PG because there was a few Blue Dragon comments I was gonna make, and I thought, might get in trouble.
Did anybody bring up Jaina's love of cows?
No,
so much.
no,
You could have gone there. It would have been funny too.
yeah, but yeah, so that was fun. So yeah, my special shout out will go to whoever was RPing as Kael'thas from the Heroes. That was a fun hour of work for me, or hour of lunch at work. Sorry. All right, so, where can we find you, Scarlett? Twitter and such.
My bed? Oh.
That's an interesting Twitter handle. Please don't try to find her in her bed, people, because that's just stalkerish and creepy, and that'll get you a restraining order.
That's true.
Speaking of which, where's Lat?
So I'm too tired. Twitter at Scarlet_CTR is me.
All right. And you don't really stream all that much, so.
I've streamed once,
Yeah.
and my only viewer was you. So.
And you had me come in to test your stream.
Yes.
Don't feel bad. I don't get too many when I bother either, but I don't do it
Oh
often.
boy.
Anyway, and then up here we have Theory. How do we find you?
Yes, it is Theory, aka Gank Theory, on pretty much any social media that you're looking at. I am at Gank Theory, including Twitch for streaming. Although I haven't been streaming much, do have plans to start streaming again more often. Even though WoW is not real popular right now, and streaming with 6.2 coming, that'll probably happen.
Yeah. Me, obviously, under my face here, I put at Draven Dresden because that's me. Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, mostly. Yeah. For the show directly, epicfailpodcast.com, or at Twitter, podcast Epic Fail. And feedback. Give us feedback. Let us know what you think. If there's a way to improve, if there's something you want us to talk about, if you have a question, I don't care. Not a death threat, not pictures of Scarlet in bed, because that will get you in trouble.
Those don't exist.
Nope.
She's gonna take a picture of herself and send it in.
That would be funny. But I know what her email is, so
I could make a new one.
you don't know how to do that.
She's got friends.
No, she doesn't. Yeah, she does.
Siri, can you make me an email address? Because apparently I don't know how.
Don't do it. Anyway. No, you know what? Do it. Go for it.
It's gonna be pictures of Draven while he's sleeping that he didn't know were taken. Is what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
And
good
they're
luck with
out
that.
From Scarlett's web account and email address.
Yeah. Again, good luck with that. There's a reason I don't tell
Be
people
right
where
there
I...
next to you as
Yeah.
you sleep.
There's a reason I don't tell people where I am or anything like that. Where I work, nothing. The best you're going to get is somewhere in Ohio.
Stop making it easier.
You know what that reminds me of?
It reminds you of, this is the end of the show.
Drew Carey.
Yeah.
And all the shout out at the end of their...
Cleveland rocks.
No, when they shout out, Ohio!
Yeah. That's the name of the song, though. Anyway, so that is episode 13, running a little long, but we actually had information to share and some inane rambling to do. And only 2.5 derails.
And I do apologize for the snore. Or the face plant, whatever I did. I did do something, like fell asleep-ish.
That's okay. I was switching cameras as often as I remembered, so it might have been Theory full screen whenever you did that.
Gonna have a dirt face of you sleeping over here off the side of the screen.
But I did, if it makes you feel any better, when you lifted your head back up and you had the keyboard imprint on your face, I did have you full screen for that.
Well, that I know enough to remember that did not happen, so...
Anyway, episode 13 is a wrap, so you have any last words, guys?
Good nighters!
Okay, bye.
You know, the world could always use more heroes.